So this video is going to break down a certain formula which I'm going to emphasize on, and if you just want to get into me doing the actual fix right away, look in the description. There will be a time skip. I have to give a disclaimer though. This formula I'm going to state will be a very useful formula, but at the same time it's going to be fucking annoying and tedious because there's a bunch of percentage that you can't really control, and it's gambling, borderline gambling on what you need to get. So if you're not a big fan of that, then I would advise you to go for something else, like obviously an attack HP sort of stat or formula that can give you the most out of your buck. But if you are willing to make this all-rounder formula, then you can continue to watch this video. I'm going to break down this particular formula, and obviously in due time you can also upgrade this by using the ability transfer method, and also when it comes to just using this for the rest of your gameplay, because this is an all-rounder stat ability. Granted that when it comes to the Japanese PSO2 right now, we're about to end episode 6, and they might add a bit more abilities here and there that may catch a bunch of people's interest. We shall see. I will update you guys on that. But note that this is towards a unit. And also note that this is for those who are playing in Japanese PSO2, because when it comes to North America, you guys don't have all the abilities yet. It's not up to date. There are a couple abilities you can go for if you are playing on North America PSO2 and make it into a well-rounded unit in a way. I'll make a separate video talking about that later. However, when it comes to the Japanese PSO2, this is an endgame formula that might give you a headache. Obviously, before you watch this video though, you will have to watch a bunch of other videos before understanding and seeing this video. You would want to know some of the basic stuff when it comes to affixing, upper right corner or in the description, but most likely you want to look at the description because there'll be a bunch of video links there, and there will be a section where it says these are the videos you want to watch, and then the other half is going to be like some videos you may want to consider. So obviously you're going to need to know how to do or how to make mana, astral, and ether factor. If you don't know how to make those, I did a video for it. And then once again, some of the important stuff in the description and upper right corner. Alright, so this is once again going to be on a unit. This is you upslotting as well from a 3 slot to a 4 slot. If you don't know how annoying it is to do an upslot process, I have the video that explains the concept of it, and then I have another video that shows you what I have to deal with, or the live representation of what an upslot bullshit looks like. I am not proud of that video, but I blame fucking Monica. Anyways, back on topic. This formula is going to be a long one because I'm going to have to break down how you do this, and this. I'm going to skim over some of the basic stuff like how to make a catalyst, soul catalyst, ether, or mana catalyst. But yeah. Also note that when it comes to this video, it's going to be unedited, so you're going to see a bunch of mistakes or hear me blab about a bunch of stuff. So, the in-game formula you are going for would be ether factor, mana rev, astral soul, and then the fourth ability can be whatever ability you want, but you want to try to emphasize on a bunch of stat. For this example, I'm going to use crack 5. No, it's not a fucking drug, it's an actual name of an ability in-game. You can go for Returner 5, but that's a pain in the ass to farm for. I will make a separate video explaining why. I did hint at it when it comes to like abilities, or like why you shouldn't save or buy a bunch of abilities or do a bunch of fixes in the Western PS2. It's a video right up the right hand corner or in the description. Until, you know, you guys got the endgame content, but yeah. Getting return ability is still a pain in the ass, and it's still a pain in the ass to do over in Japanese PS2 because of the requirement and the method of farming that particular ability. So enough of me chit-chatting about a bunch of shit. Let's get right into these. So, what you will be doing... Alright, so... And then we don't care about what's down here. Like I said, we're going with crack. But instead of going for... You want to go for crack 5, but for this process you want to actually make a crack 4. Then... If you are cheap and you don't have Now, obviously, you can choose one or the other. You don't need to make this literal piece right here. But yeah, let me just put this over here instead so you guys don't get confused with it. You got a couple ways to do this too. You can either use a Doombreak 2 or you can use a Doombreak 3. I would say stick with Doombreak 3 out of 3 slots so it can work and you don't need to worry about upslotting or gambling. But this is on you. This is your call. And then let me get a receptor. So here's your end game ability formula that you are going for. You got two options. You can either go Astral, Factor, Reverie. Wait, I'm missing something. Duh. That's what I'm missing. Omega Memoria. So, you can go Astral, Factor, Reverie, Catalyst, or Crack 5. Or, you can go Astral, Factor, Reverie, Catalyst, or Doombreak 3. You can replace Crack 5 with Returner, but once again, Return is a bitch to farm, and yeah, if you look at these percentages, this is atrocious. This is what you're dealing with. But this is why you will be using Force Slot Protection items, because it will save all these fodder pieces while you try to gamble and try to get all four of these to succeed. Now, depending on what ability success root boost you have, you will want to try to use whatever you have on you, like a 40%, a 50%. There's going to be a chance for it to fail like that, but if you got a protection item, it can save it. Second time around, you can see that it all succeed. This one, it failed, but if I have a protection item, it's going to save all the materials again, so I can reuse it again. It's going to consume your stuff, and I already did a live demonstration of how to use the Force Slot Protection and stuff up right corner or in the description. So, this is the final fix you are going for. You want to make sure you use a Force Slot Protection, because if you don't use a Force Slot Protection, it fucking fails. You're going to have to remake all this shit again. You don't want to do that. That's going to eat up a lot of your Meseta and time and resources. You want to use a Force Slot Protection. They should be easy to get because they require AC Scratch badges. You can get those by either buying a bunch of AC items from a bunch of players and then trading it in, or just buying the AC Scratch from the shop. I will make a separate video talking about that later. Alright, so this is the final fix. The thing is, you need to make these pieces. Let me talk about this Reverie Catalyst one. And once again, you don't need to have both Crack 4 and Doombreak 2 on it. Let me focus on the Crack first. So you're going to need all the different types of Reveries. This is an episode 5 thing. So if you are in North America, once again, this isn't directed towards you just yet. You will get this in due time. Just in case, let me do that. And then let me get Crack. Now, here's the thing about Crack. To get a grade 4, you're going to need at least 3 copies of Crack 3 somewhere in your formula. You can only get 3, so you can try to upgrade it to grade 4. Any more than that, you're not getting any sort of bonus from that. And if you only use 2 Crack 3s in your formula, you won't be able to upgrade the Crack 3 into Crack 4. So you need 3 somewhere. To get a Crack 3, if you want to be cheap about it, you can just use 2 Crack 1s and then upgrade it to a Crack 2. And then using that same sort of method, you're going to be doing that using 2 Crack 2s to get into a Crack 3. But since this is not the right slot, let me actually fix this. Let me do that. So pretty much you need... Oh, I should have actually copied and pasted this stuff, so it's easier. Whatever. So pretty much you need just 2 Crack 1s. And then some junk ability. Try to upgrade this. And keep it at a 3 slot. That's your go. And then once you do that, you do this over here. Get Crack 3 and then that. Now, here's the tricky part. The crack has to be on these damn Reveries. So, whatever Reverie you have a lot of, the best one you could actually put crack onto without having to worry as much about getting this fodder piece over here is Persona Rev. Because when it comes to Persona Rev, you can get that from fighting against Omega Masquerade. I talked about him up right hand corner or in the description in his particular quest. You will want to spam that guy, because you can get a bunch of X cubes, class X cubes from him, but you can also get a bunch of Reveries and Persona Souls from this guy. Persona. You will need 3 of these to get the maximum percent. Now, let me just copy this. You got a couple ways to go about this. You can do this right here, which is to get a 2 crack. What? 2? Oh, wait, you don't need this then, if this is going to be the case. You can get 2 crack 2s, upgraded to a crack 3, and then have 3 Persona Revs, and then just gamble using a 30%, 80-80. Should be able to succeed most of the time. There's a couple times where it will fail, but should be able to succeed. Or, instead of using a crack 2, you can just have a, crack 3 over here instead. Depends on what you farmed for or what you have on you. Same strategy applies to this one as well. But you can see that it's at a 30%, so best bet is to do this instead. You can do this, but most likely you need 3 copies for it to be like the maximum percentage. It's going to be 100% transfer. So this is like kind of a safe method because the only thing you're gambling is the Reverie compared to the crack. Do whatever method you want to do, but you need to get those cracks and Reveries together. And then once you do that, you get to try to gamble both a Reverie and a crack. And it's not going to look good. You would want to do this on an affix boost. The maximum affix boost you can get is like a 15. So these percentages are a lot better. There's still a 50. There's still a chance that like one of these will fail, but it's better than nothing. And if you do fail, then obviously you're going to have to go back to the drawing board and try to make this thing again. But that's how you get the Reverie Catalyst with crack. Now if you want to do this with a Doom Break, it will be... oh god, this is going to be tricky. Now the reason why I have Doom Break 2 instead of Doom Break 3 is because when you upslot it, it's already at a low percentage as it is. If you decide to do it on a 15% boost, use a 30%, or better yet, let's say a 40%, these percentages are a bit better compared to like not doing it with a boost week or using a plus 40%. But this is on you. You can either stick to a Doom Break 2 or you can have a Doom Break 3. So taking, what is it? Alright, so I'm gonna also have to make a new panel and explain Doom Break and how they function. So Doom Break is a bit wonky because obviously you need 3 so you can get the maximum percentage, but if you get more copies, getting more copies allow you to get a more get an increase in your in the upper grade. So you can see that with just 3 it was at like 30%. You can gamble with a 30%. Well, actually no, with just 3 it's like 10%. With a 4th one it went to 30, and then with a 5th one it was able to go to 50%. And let me just put some of these things here and just drag these all across the board. Where's my B? This B. Go over here, go over here, go over here. Now you got Doom Break like that. And then what you want to do to try to upgrade it into a 3, you're gonna need it. Same rule applies. Like the 3 gives you like the minimum or maximum when it comes to like just transferring to Doom Break 2. But having more copies, you can see that it can give you a boosting your percentage when it comes to going to the next grade. And obviously, if you go to six, it's not gonna count. So yeah, that's a 50% right there at a 3-stop. But once again, this is not your goal. Like having the piece, yeah, that's fine. But the goal is to put that Doom Break onto. I should rename these things. I'm gonna rename this one just so I know what I'm dealing with. Okay, that rename button is not working. Alright, so let me say you got a bunch of Doom Break 3s here. Get rid of these cracks instead. So you got something like this. This you can work with, and you can obviously just gamble for the Persona Rev. But then you get to go back over here. Yeah, this thing right here. And now you're gonna need a bunch of copies for Doom Break 3 on your pieces instead of Crack 3. Honestly, thinking about it, I would just say go for Crack instead of Doom Break 3. Because, once again, it's an all-rounder stat. And Doom Break 3 is nice, but it's just focused on PP and attack S and R. S, R, and T attack. But yeah, you can do something like this, and, you know, Doom Break 3 will be able to succeed. The only thing you're gambling on is a Catalyst. Compared to, like, the, what is it? Compared to the Crack ability, where there's a chance that this will fail even if you got a 30% and a 15%. Depends on your budget, depends on how you feel about gambling. But yeah, the problem is getting Doom Break 3. It's not easy because this is how you can get the maximum percent. You want to do this on a boost week once again. I'm going to emphasize on you doing this on a boost week. Because, yeah, I don't know if you want to use all 5 of these Doom Break 2s just so you can try to get into Doom Break 3. I mean, it's good. It's just that it's something. It depends on your resources. I would just try to gamble. Or I would gamble and do it on an affix week. Or you can take this formula and just have a Doom Break 2 instead. And then you can try to gamble it along with the... No, it's not this one. Shit. What's the other one? I think I deleted you. Where are you? Are you over here? Goddamn, this is why I wanted to put names. That shows. Did I exit out of it? I feel like I exit out. No, here it is. So yeah, instead of doing this, you could do something like this. But yeah, it's a low percentage as well. This is not with the mana rev though, sort of. But where is it? I thought I copied this somewhere onto the damn thing. This is with Persona Rev. I guess I didn't copy it correctly? Where are you? There we go. Jeez, okay, so... Yeah. Once again, this is... what you're dealing with. You can't put a Doom Break 2, but... Or, honestly, just looking at this, you can try to gamble with these instead. Just go with Doom Break 2, try to make it to Doom Break 3. Use a, 30%, use a 15 over here. And instead of, like, gambling with the Reverie, you'll most likely gamble with that Doom Break 3. This will save you a decent amount of money compared to, like, going all out and having a bunch of Doom Break 3s while you try to make the Reverie and the Doom Break Catalyst. I mean, putting a Reverie onto either a Crack or, a Reverie onto a Doom Break. Jeez. So yeah, like, this is what you want to do, but you want to use Doom Breaks and upslot it. Yeah, you want to upslot it into a Reverie. Wait, where the bloody hell is the other formula that I have? Did I exit out of it again? thought I didn't exit out of it. Why do you keep on disappearing on me? Unless it's this 4th tab? No, it's not. I'm fucking confused. So, your end game goal. I guess I did exit out of it by accident. I have no clue. If I can rename this, this would be fine. But no. This is what you want to do because you don't want to try to gamble with the Doom Break as much. And if you already have it added Doom Break 3, all you need is just 3 copies to get the maximum percent. And then you can use like a 30%. So you can finalize it and just risk the catalyst. So that's how you make most of these fodder pieces right here. The Reverie catalyst with crack and then some junk ability, or Reverie catalyst with or you could just have a Doom Break 2 in there too. That's why I actually placed it in there, because you either want to, what is it, you either want to have this as a high percentage, or since you're using Force Slap Protection and you're gambling already with 3 other goddamn abilities, you might as well gamble in itself. So, depends on your wallet. Depends on how you want to do it. Since I have this at Doom Break 2, I'm just going to suggest keep it at the Doom Break 2. Because this is going to give you a bit more leeway, and you don't need to worry about manipulating it as much. I swear to fucking god, this thing keeps on destroying whatever this formula is that I keep on copying. Because it has all these things. Then just have this instead. Delete these. And then you can... that does not look right. Oh, that's why. It's a Doom Break 3. I did not want Doom Break 3. I wanted Doom Break 2. So this is what you are dealing with. The 25%, 100%, 95%, and you can use a 30%. There's a 15 boost going on. That's why the percentages are wonky. But use a 30%, you're just gambling, or maybe a 40%. You're just gambling with the catalyst. And that's how you make most of these fodder pieces over here. Now this one is gonna be the Reverie Catalyst and Omega Memoria. So taking this, well, you're gonna need Omega Reverie, and you don't want to try to combine Omega this unit piece with anything else. Like, don't try to shove a Doom Break 2 in there and or a crack in this. It's gonna be a pain in the butt to work with. So let me just get rid of these Doom Breaks. Oh, that already has C. Alright, so you got something like this. But you can see that Omega Memoria isn't an option. How do you make Omega Memoria? You're gonna need to get Historia Soul and Fabulous Soul somewhere. Here's Historia. And then Fabula. And now, taking this into consideration, once again, when it comes to this thing right here, you're gonna need to go back to this sort of formula and just swap out what? The Doom Breaks with a Fabulous. So, if you want to get the highest percentage, obviously use 3 souls. If not, then just stick with 2. So this is what you want to make, and then you're going to need to put Historia Soul somewhere as well. Most likely on the other fodder piece that I don't... What the hell? Why does this keep deleting the goddamn thing? Yeah, this Affix simulator is being weird on me. But, yeah, pretty much that's how you make a Mega Memoria. You need to combine... Stop deleting itself. I'm getting pissed off of it. Maybe it's because I have too many tabs. I might need to change it up then. Now, just for the sake of my sanity and just speeding through this, you would want these souls on, you know... Oh, wait, shit. 2 souls can't be together. You would want this on something like the Persona Rev, so You can combine. Wait, what the hell? Omega Memor. Oh wait, that's what we're making. I need Omega Reverie. Ignore the Memoria. Get rid of that shit. So yeah, you're gonna have to do something like this. You're gonna gamble this at a whopping 50. You decide to use a 40. So one of them might fail, both of them might fail, but in the end, you're trying to get something like that. And that's how you create most of these fodder pieces. Now, here's the problem. If you are planning to try to do this over in the Western PSO2, because understand that when it comes to the unit affix for a soul receptor and a factor receptor, they don't really have that over there in the North American PSO2 unless they incorporated or coded in some way, shape, and form. They might have it in the battle pass, but there's no receptor on a unit. Now, there will be later with catch items depending on what it is, but yeah, you would usually find soul receptor and a factor receptor together if you farm on PSO2 ES, which is the mobile game over in the Japanese PSO2. You link your PSO2 ES account to your main account on the Japanese PSO2, and you can get the pieces that you can get from that phone app game. So getting the soul receptor and factor receptor is going to be questionable. You can buy it off the market from other players, but yeah, you can't get this as it is. This you will not tamper with whatsoever because you can't really tamper with a receptor. I already made a video talking about it. But other than that, the biggest issue will be Disaster Soul and Ether Factor. You need to make this. So, oh god, this is going to be a breakdown of the damn thing. So, to make Astral Soul. Now, I'm not going to put a bunch of the other junk abilities in there because I'm just trying to speed through it now. You need 4 Soul Catalysts and in Darkness Soul. Then you can make an Astral Soul. Then, what you want to do to make a Soul Catalyst, you're going to need a lot of other souls. You're going to need Loser, Apprentice, Elder, Persona, and Double. These are all the Fouls bosses. You combine these souls, imagine this is a 5-star, just put random junk in there. And then you want to make a soul catalyst, is going to be at a 10%. But once you have 4 soul catalysts in the darkness soul, you want to make an astral soul at a 5. I was about to say 5 slot, but I was thinking about my other formula that I was making. No, you want this at a 3 slot. So, I mean, you could push it to a 4 slot as well. It just depends on what you have on hand. 3 slot or 4 slot, but you want to make an Astral Soul just staying at its natural slot. Don't try to upslot this thing. And to make Ether Factor, you're gonna need to get all the different factors. Understand that this is an episode 4 thing, so if you're playing on North America PSO2, this will be released when episode 4 comes around and you meet all the bosses. And then you need, what was it, Ether Soul. Once you have 4 of these catalysts in Ether Soul, you can make an Ether Factor. 60%, but if you got Boost Week, you can use a 30%, if it's 10% or 50%, or you can use a 40%. But to make a bunch of factors, you need 3 certain factors. You need Mother, Deuce, and Yamato. Once you have all 3 of these, you can combine them to make it. But you might be wondering, okay, Morph, how do I make the Ether Soul? Ether Soul can be made by combining 3 of the following souls. I can't remember what it was. You had to combine either full Vegas soul or total soul. And there's some other soul. I think Asgard. Asgard can be used to make it too. Yeah, so any 2 of these abilities will work to make an Ether Soul. And once again, 3 slot or 4 slot. But once you have the finalized product, you're gonna need receptors. So this is the only way to combine all three of these endgame abilities. You need to use a receptor within this process, which is why I'm kind of I'm wondering how NA PSO2 is gonna allow you guys to even make this sort of formula here. But yeah, the thing is, you want to use a receptor to push for this. You can have these receptors together or separate. It depends on your wallet and what you decide to buy and get. But what you want to do is try to get this to work, and you can use the 4% with this, just because you don't want to go through all the tedious process of making a bunch of catalysts again, or gathering a bunch of catalysts, or buying a bunch of catalysts. You want to use the 4-slot protection here, get this finalized, get them both together, and then you want to use protections when you do this end game affix, and you can go for Astral, Effector, Mana Rev, Crack 5, and or Doom Break, or a Returner, depends on your demand. And you are upslotting this. So you want to use that protection. You are upslotting it to a 4-slot, so you want to use the protection so you can just keep it as it is. If you decide to make this stay at a 4-slot, it can give you a better chance. Let me just show you what it is. Because you didn't upslot. The upslot penalty is what's gonna skew the percentage, but still, it's gonna be low regardless of you using an upslot method or you're gonna stay at the desired slot that you have. Because right here, you can see you're still gambling with this bullshit. At the very least, Mana Rev can succeed, but the other abilities have a chance to fail still, and that's 3 abilities that are roughly around like 50%, 2 of them being at like 40%, so do what you gotta do. Once again, I advise you guys that if you decide to do this formula, that you plan this out properly. You don't want to rush it, you don't want to overstep your boundaries, you want to plan it accordingly. Use the fix simulator to your advantage. If you have any question, comment, concerns, put it down below. And do it on a boost week. Boost week will help you out, because if you have a 15%, I'm typing a bunch of letters, these percentages wouldn't look too bad, and if you decide to use a 40%, this would just increase your chance a lot more than what you would usually deal with. So yeah, that's it for this video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, once again, put it down below. I do have a Discord. If you want to join the Discord, you can look in the description. There is a link to it. This video is once again unedited, and I decided to show you guys like the actual process of how to break this down. I'm going to be doing another future video where I break down the 400 attack formula I showed you guys when it comes to me talking about, you know, affixing in general. I told you guys that you can have a dumb 400 attack stat unit thing, and that is the thing. I'll break down how you can make it, but just know that if you are watching this on, if you're watching it and you're playing on NA, you're not going to have these abilities just yet. And once again, there might be some complications because of what I just emphasized on, which is with the receptor, because without that receptor, you can't combine these 3 abilities. It's going to be a bitch to actually work with. You can obviously use a receptor on a weapon, especially if it has a SAF, but that's on a weapon, and it being an SAF, it's not a natural drop. Thank you guys for watching, though. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.